what I'm going to do is I got my white paint squirted out here, and I'm going to, if I was to just use straight white paint, I don't want it to just sit on the top too much, but it has to be a bit to the dry side, or else it'll really just sink right into my color. So let's say, um, do it like this. There. So if I put just white on there, it's, at first it feels like it's covering. So I'm getting this white back, trying to get that white back. So I just put straight white. But as it dries, it might sink down into the paper and just become a little grayed down because of the color underneath it. But I haven't put too much water, so it's staying quite white. But truth is that that white that I want to get is probably now too white. Look at how the difference, look at how dark that color actually is. It's much darker than what I've got here. So I don't want to make this, even though it's light, I really don't want to make it as white as that, or even as white as this. I have to make sure it's still darker than that. And the thing is, it will sink in, so it will become darker likely as it dries. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to mix this color. So this color is actually a bit of a purpley color up here, a purpley blue gray. You know, really just like isolate that color. If you have to use your little circle, I think I should get them out. They're like, if you have a little circle of paper, you can put it right on top of there and try to see the color. And you want to make that color, but you got to be careful you don't put your white all over the place. You keep track of where your white is in your paint, because you don't want it to get everywhere, because it'll dull down all your colors. So if I just want to make this a dulled down purple, I might take some of this purple here. I'm going to try to be careful and remember where I do this. I would recommend you more careful than I'm being right now. I've added a bit more blue to this. I'm going to put it over here. And maybe I'll add now a bit more white. So I just want to lighten this color, try to make it the color I want it to be. It's sort of a gray purpley. I want to neutralize this purple a bit. It's too purple. I'm going to take some yellow to neutralize purple, because yellow is a complementary color of purple. I'm just going to take a bit of yellow here. I'm going to put it back up here. I just want a neutralized kind of gray. So the color of this is now this. Oh, that's nice. I think that's exactly the right color. Yeah, it's exactly the right color. It's hard for you to see. Let me put it over here. But it looks like that. It's a neutralized. That's exactly the right color I need. Not that I really care that I'm matching it, but we do need to get the tone right. So it's this color. So I'm going to be careful, and I'm going to put this color on top of here. It's not too far off what I might have had before, but it's still brighter than that. Now I'll put this up so you can sort of see. It's just a bit of a different. It's going to show up, but not that much. I might have to lighten it a bit more later. Or what I might need to do, if I'm really matching colors, I will have to make my background darker. That's the only way I can really make this white look white now, is to make the background beside it look darker. So these are now, if you don't want to darken your whole background, so I'm just going to do this right now. I'm just going to take some more color here. Just mix all these colors together and try to make a background color that's darker, so that if I put that beside there, if that was my painting, this would show up much better now. If it's going to be darker, then that now all of a sudden shows up, right? I'll put this yellow color beside it too. This is a dark yellow here on this side of it. The color of the bird is really quite dark. You see, that's a yellowy, and it should be maybe a little bit redder. So I'm going to add a bit of red. But anyway, this is giving me my tonal values, even if my colors. So then as I come down, I want to make it, so like what I was saying is that you don't have to necessarily make your whole background darker. You just have to make it, you can fade it out so that it gets lighter, whatever color you want it to be. It can be lighter, but right along the edge there where you want this to look bright, you might have to darken just a bit around it. And then you could pull it out, and it doesn't have to be dark, but right next to it, it should be maybe dark if you need that to be bright and you've lost it. So now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to focus, I'm going to clean my brush off. I'm going to focus on this yellow color here. Try to match that color. So I'm going to take some white. I'm going to put it back in here because I know that's my yellow, my purple. So I need to mix it with, I'm going to mix it with a bit of red. Get some orange there. It can't be very bright. Like it's got to be white, but it can't be that bright. You can test the color somewhere and see if it's close. If you want to. It needs to be more yellow. I can see. I'm going to add some more yellow. There, that's a bit better. It needs to be greenier. I'm going to just take some of this green here that I have. Maybe this is just right. There we go. That's getting better. That color there, and it's got to be possibly a little darker. That's pretty close, but maybe a bit more white. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So, whoa, I'm going to have to print out a new color. I'm wrecking this picture. I'm going to have to print out a new one. But anyway, so here we go, trying to lighten something that's too dark. So I'm taking this color. You see that? Look at that. Look at how beautiful. I'm covering all this other dark stuff. And that's feeling bright again. By using my white paint, I'm going to come back up here, make it purpley again. You might need to make enough color for yourself. I'm pretty good at matching colors, so I can really be quite quick about it. But look at that. That's feeling nice. It's going from like this sort of gray blue down to this yellow. And that I could leave that, let it dry, and just see how, like, and you can see in the picture how dark this is. And I think that is really going to be the thing. If you want that to look light, you really do have to somehow get some dark. And so this is how I would get the feathery feel. I would be along the edge here of the bird. If I wanted it to look feathery, you kind of go into it, bring it down. And you want to make this shape here. Like that's why, I mean, so you might not have wanted this to be that dark, but if you're having trouble, if you've lost the light there, you might have to do a bit of darkening and then lighten it again, like lighten it. But the right along the edge has to be dark. Starting to make sense, I hope. And I can pull this down so it doesn't look like such a harsh line. And then I would keep going back in it as after it dries. I would have to keep modeling this, modeling it. So this is just kind of a first pass.